Hey guys, I'm Pranay and I'm back with my second vlog. And today I'm gonna talk about some winter tips based on my experience of staying here for 2 years. I see a lot of family and friends back home who ask this question a lot, like how's the winter there? What kind of winter wears or winter gears do you wear? What kind of clothing? How does it feel to go out there in the cold weather? So all those things I'll be talking about today. So stay tuned. So talking about winters here in Canada, let me be honest, a lot of YouTubers and vloggers, they say that we get used to it, but here's the truth, we never get used to it. It's just we adapt. We try to cover ourselves up as much as possible, because the moment we go outside in the winter, even if it is minus 15 or minus 20, you will see your nose start turning to red. You'll feel the wind and the chills piercing under your skin, and in no time you'll be wanting to go inside, because it's just not how our bodies are designed to, right? So today I'm gonna share you some tips that I learned in the last 2 years, in the last 2 winters, of how I survived, because this is one of the most asked questions back home, like how do you survive the Canadian winters? Especially the winter gear, like what kind of winter gears you should be wearing, what terms are used here. For example, 2 years back, it was my first winter and I went to office, and one of my office mates, she was like, you know, if you're feeling cold, this is your first winter, you should really get a pair of earmuffs. I had never heard of that term before. Then I found, okay, so these are called earmuffs. Then someone told me, why don't you have a toque? I didn't know what mittens were. So these are some terms and tips and tricks, you know, you should learn, especially if you are planning to immigrate to Canada. So first things first, it is really beautiful when it snows. You see the snow all getting caught up in the branches of the trees, and the trees look the mix of white and green, and all the land is covered in white. It's simply so beautiful and amazing to be outside. One thing I experienced is that when it snows, it's actually not that cold. And then I got to know that you need some moisture in the air to snow, and if it is too cold, then there's less moisture in the air, it's dry, so it doesn't snow. So when it's snowing, it's actually not that cold, usually around let me say -2 or -5, not more than that. So if it crosses -20, the chances of snowfall are really less. So tip 1, snowfall is the time to go out and enjoy yourselves and have fun. Get all the winter gears that you can. So it actually started to snow when I was recording the video, so I came in this park behind my home. As I said, it's not that cold. When it actually snows, it's not snowing that much. Let me switch the camera. Looks beautiful. Talking about winter coats, a lot of people will suggest you to get an expensive one, say $500, $1,000 or $1,500. Yes, I'm talking about Canada Goose, but not all of us can afford that, right? For example, me, in my first winter, I was not sure if I should buy a $1,500 coat. So what I did was I got the cheapest one that I could get from Walmart. It cost me around $99, and that did the job. Honestly, it was huge, it was bulky, it put strain on my shoulders because, you know, they are heavy, and when we wear it for a long hours, say 8 to 10 hours, it's really bulky and we don't feel good wearing those. For my second winter, I got a Columbia jacket, which has a kind of a thermal insulated protection, which really keeps it warm inside, and it's surprisingly lightweight. It doesn't feel like it's a winter coat. So when I was actually buying it, I was not that confident because it was so thin and so lightweight. I was really not sure if it could protect me from the cold. It cost me around $200. Actually, when I actually started wearing it and going out in the winter, it really felt warm. And it's really so light and thin that it's really comfortable going out with. A nice pair of winter boots are also really important, especially if you're using public transport, because not every time we have these sidewalks cleared immediately after it snows or when it's snowing continuously. And the other thing is that sometimes when it has snowed and the next day or 2 days after that, if it is not being cleaned properly, then, you know, it transforms into ice. It's called black ice here, and when it is black ice, it's really hard to spot it because it is transparent. It was just seemed like there's nothing there, and when you step on it, it's so slippery. I have experienced it before, and let me be honest, after I got my car for the second winter, the winter boots were not really that useful to me. So if you're planning to get a car, you know, your regular shoes will just work fine, because you know it's just walking from the parking to office or from the parking to home, so it's not really required unless you go out for, you know, winter adventures. And of course, just winter boots and winter coats are not enough to protect ourselves from the cold. We need to layer up. What I mean from that is, you know, have 2 or 3 layers of clothing, wear long johns. Another term that I learned here, it's the thing that we call thermals back in India. So here it's called long johns, especially wearing it underneath our jeans. If you're planning to stay out in the cold for extended amount of time, it will really help you. Now, even that is not enough. Getting a pair of warm socks is really important to keep the feet warm. Similarly, we need a good pair of gloves too. Even a cheap pair of gloves from maybe Dollarama or Walmart may work for you, because at the end of the day, it gets the job done. And of course, there are expensive ones available depending on your budget, but it's really important to not forget the gloves and the warm socks. Another thing that I learned here is to check the weather every single day before heading out. Now, checking the weather, it doesn't come natural to me, because coming from India, we had quite a predictable weather there. In Canada, it's really not that. You can see from inside the window and it's nice and sunny and warm outside, but the moment you step outside, it's minus 25. So please don't make that mistake. Always check the weather before you go out, because it really helps. And I've had experiences where it was warm during the morning, snowy during the afternoon, cold in the winter, and then it rained. So all 4 seasons in a single day. So we need to be prepared for this. We need to carry sometimes it's actually confusing whether should I carry my raincoat, should I carry my winter coat. And if there are drastic changes in the weather in a single day, say from minus 15 to plus 5, now that's a huge difference of 25 degrees in a single day. So it's really tough to adapt and to clothe accordingly, but at least if we check the weather, then we know what to expect, right? So it's really important to check the weather every time you go outside. Always keep your phones fully charged before going out. I've seen that, you know, when it's minus 20 outside and I'm out in the cold for maybe an hour or 2 hours, then I see my phone battery, even if it was full, you know, and getting empty, and phone's just turning off. And then when we go inside in a slightly warmer environment than the phone, we can turn on the phone, but it's still low battery and we have to charge it again. So it's really important to keep the phones charged. A lot of people carry warm coffee along with them when they are waiting at the bus stations for the bus, or in the bus. That I have noticed a lot of times when I was taking the bus to work, and I think it's really a good idea, because, you know, warm coffee or tea really keeps us warm when waiting for the bus. And let me tell you honestly, not all the bus stations are closed. So some of them are open, and when it's an open bus station, and if it is really cold, get a warm cup of tea or coffee and sip it through as you wait for your bus. I think that's a good idea. Oh, one thing I should mention about the winter gloves is that there are gloves available in the market which are touch friendly, so you don't have to remove them to use your phone. But honestly, I tried a couple of those, but it's not that great. Also, another kind of gloves available where you can just flip the finger part of it and expose one of your fingers to use your phone. Those are really good, and you know, because you're just exposing one finger and you use your phone and then you put it back in. The other thing is, in winter it really gets dark early. It's really, you know, by the time it's 4 p.m. you already feel like it's, you know, 6 or 7 p.m. Now let me tell you the most important tip which will help you stay warm. The best winter protection available there. Here's it. Yes, exactly. get a car. That's really important, because no matter how many layers of clothing you're wearing, you'll still feel cold if you're outside and exposed. Of course, it's not absolutely necessary to have a car, especially if you're living in or near downtown. But I feel if you're staying anywhere else, then a car is really required, and it will really make your winter experience much smooth, because the amount of time that we actually stay outside reduces drastically when the moment we start using the car. Having a car itself has its own challenges: the amount of insurance that we pay, the cost of the car, driving in winter, getting winter tires. That's really for another vlog. It really boils down to the fact that how much you have to walk to your bus station, because if the bus station is really near your home and you don't have to walk much to get the groceries and stuff like that, then it's doable to survive without a car. It's not really that important. We did not have a car in our first winter, but because for us the commute was not that much, we did not have to walk much to the bus station or to buy our groceries. It really didn't matter for us. Something else that I would want to add here is that the public transport, although it is very reliable and we do have Google Maps showing us the exact time of arrival and departure of the bus, so it's really easy and convenient, but when there's a snowstorm, when it really snows hard, then it all goes for a toss. So I remember the 20-minute bus ride from my work to home took me 4 hours one day. It must be like 15 kilometers, because there was a severe snowstorm and all the roads were covered with snow and there was traffic and there was chaos. I really feel for the driver for driving for 4 or 5 hours. The bus was literally not moving for, I think, an hour or so it took us so long. The public transport is good. I'm not complaining for most part. These things happen maybe once a year. We do have warnings before that, that a snowstorm is coming, be prepared, stuff like that. So it's really not something to worry about. So my friends who are still planning to come here or immigrate, they have a lot of questions about winters in their mind. So to summarize, it could be a challenge initially, but we learn quickly to adapt, because we don't have any other option than adapting, right? So yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the winters or surviving it. We all get used to it, and it gets fun the moment we learn how to enjoy the winters here. It's really amazing, the Christmas season especially, the lighting, the decorations. It's fun to just go out and enjoy the winters. I hope you found the information I shared useful. Please don't forget to share your comments and let me know if there's any particular information that you're looking for. Then I can make a video on that. It's just my second vlog, so I'm really not that experienced making these kind of videos, but I'll try my best to improve. And please subscribe and click on the bell icon to receive notifications, so that you get updated for all the videos that I make. And I hope to make a lot of them if I get good response from you guys. So yeah, enjoy the day, have fun, and see you again soon. Bye.